I am proud of you. This is a very strong statement that hits many of us in a variety of different ways, and it's one that I say a lot as well. If you've watched the entirety of any of my other videos, you'll know that this is how I outro every single video. And while I find it to be a nice send-off after talking about an important topic, there's deeper meaning behind why I use this specific phrase as an outro and why it's really important to me. Looking at my other videos, I'm gonna make a pretty obvious assumption that majority of my audience is queer. In fact, using loose bits of how human psychology works, I'm gonna wager that while maybe not over 50%, at least a lot of you are like me, queer, neurodivergent, and some variety of leftist. While this video is still relevant if you're not like me, part of that plays into why I say it as often as I do. Growing up and being viewed as different from the very beginning left me always having a seeming feeling of isolation. I felt outcast by society. I felt like everyone was acting different in a way than I was, and I wasn't able to keep up. This reflected heavily in my home life. I've many times talked about growing up in a really unaccepting household, and while I didn't come out as queer until I was about 18 or 19, the sentiment of having inherent value tied to my identity was something that, at the very least, was subconsciously put onto me from the very beginning. I felt like if I didn't do something in the correct way, if my grades weren't perfect, if I didn't like the food that was being made, or something, it always felt like this household would try to outcast me even further and push the label of different onto me. Because of this, I very rarely, if really ever, heard the phrase, "I'm proud of you," growing up. And even if I did hear it once or twice maybe, it always felt like empty praise because I knew how I was viewed outside of the vacuum of that statement. Needless to say, I never felt like I had anyone to make proud. I never felt like I had anyone whose validation meant a lot to me. I always felt like I was doing things for myself. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, it did feel isolating in life to know that the wellness of my accomplishments were something only celebrated by myself, while feeling like no one else really cared. Skip forward to me coming out as trans, me accepting my neurodivergence, and not having the energy to mask it as much, and making it very apparent to this conservative household that I'm stuck in that I'm an anarchist. Let's just say that "I'm proud of you" hasn't come from them recently either. Nor would I really want it to anymore. This phrase is a powerful one for me, but I've learned that while it's nice to know that anyone is proud of me, whenever it's someone that I look up to in some capacity, whether it be creatively, as an artist, as a streamer, as a creator, as a mentor, or just in general as a person, I get positively overwhelmed with emotions and I break, but in a good way. I recall some of the first times I've ever had someone I've genuinely at one point cared about and looked up to tell me this phrase, and I burst into happy tears. I felt validated in a way that I'd never really felt before. And while I'm no longer on good terms with this person by any means, it's a memory that can't help but stick with me all these years later. In recent times, this is something I've been told more and more by people I admire, and I get equally, if not more, emotional during these times as well. It's not that I was broken and couldn't feel the validation from someone telling me that in the past. It's that their validation felt empty. I'm healing. I don't feel broken in the way that I did anymore. I know that when people I truly care about tell me that they're proud of me, it makes me happy. It makes me feel emotion, especially those I look up to saying it. And I know it makes others feel that emotion as well. While making this video, I made 2 posts that, while genuine, were just simple posts saying, "I'm proud of you." And the response I got directly from those posts shows me that the reason I wanted to do this is true. This is why I say it at the end of every video, because I know a lot of my audience being like me means that it's likely that you've never heard this phrase in a way that matters to you either. And while I'm just some silly red panda girl on a screen, on a YouTube video, and I might not personally know you, I want to be able to have a wide-scale impact on others the way that others have had an impact on me. As surreal as it will always be for my brain, I know that I have people that look up to me in the way that I look up to others, and I know how much being told, even indirectly by someone you look up to, that they're proud of you can make you feel. So if I can recreate even just an ounce of that joy, the emotion, the happiness that I feel when I hear it by saying it, I'm gonna do it in a heartbeat. You deserve to have somebody that you care about tell you that they're proud of you. You deserve to have that be a positive, fulfilling interaction for you. And you deserve that simply because you're here. In a world built against those who don't, quote, "fall in line," you're still fighting. You're still existing and you're still moving forward towards a future that's better for everyone. And for that, I'm proud of you. And I don't want to hear you telling yourself that you don't deserve this because you're a mess or whatever. We're all a mess some days. I know I am for certain. That doesn't make you any less deserving of this validation, nor does it make you any less deserving of love. And with that, Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope that this gave an insight on why hearing that someone's proud of you might or might not affect you in some way. If you've made it this far into the video and want to hear this discussion further in maybe a little less organized detail, come over to my Twitch. I normally wouldn't call my Twitch out after the end of a video like this, but if you're watching this video within the first couple of months or so after its upload, I'm currently partner pushing over on Twitch. So if you want to come and help me in one of the most massive free ways that you can, come over and lurk in my streams. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. EDT. I'm going to be uploading a less edited video on my second channel about what partner pushing entails, how it helps, and how you can help me achieve this goal as well. That's all for me now, though. I love and appreciate you all, and if you haven't heard it yet today, with full sincerity, I'm proud of you.